because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Let's go.
This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm with K2 Promotions' very own Alex Krassyuk. Firstly, congratulations. Your man Oleksandr Usyk has signed a massive co-promotional deal with Skills Challenge and Prince Khalid. When did talks start with Saudi Arabia about potentially those guys getting Oleksandr on board?
Listen, Omar, we do everything possible to get Tyson Fury in the ring. He's like desperately looking for an opponent, but no one wants to fight him. So here we come. We join our efforts with very serious and very pleasant people of Skill Challenge. I mean, Prince Khalid himself, Omar Nasser, Amer Abdullah. These are very professional people in the field of boxing. They know how to treat fighters properly. And that's actually the reason why we did it and why we exposed it in such a manner in the media. We want to show how serious we are, that these are not just talks. This is a real intention to allow the whole world see what it wants to see. The biggest fight of the century, the biggest fight in the heavyweight division, where we're going to define who is the strongest heavyweight on the planet.
Of course, your man has got some business to attend to in August, and we will come on to that. But from your end, now that you officially signed with Skills Challenge in Saudi Arabia as well, are you good to go for December against Tyson Fury?
Listen, we shouldn't oversee our next fight, which is going to happen at the end of summer, but this is our strategic plan.
And from what you've heard from Saudi Arabia and Skills Challenge, the other side, Tyson Fury, is he good to go? Because Frank Warren, I spoke to him, he said he's had no formal offer. As we're talking today, it is I want to timestamp this 6th of June, Tuesday, 6th of June. At this point, they've had no formal written offer from Skills Challenge about Fury v. Usyk.
According to my knowledge, they will receive a formal written offer very soon. And it will be their decision or Tyson's decision whether to take it or leave it. Because we've done everything possible to make this fight happen. And now the ball is on Tyson's side. It's an offer, take it or leave it. If you take it, then you have a big fight, the biggest fight of your career. If you hesitate, or if you try to trade out something, or trying to swing around, it shows that you are not serious. And you have to relinquish the belt and retire. Not for 1 month or for 1 week, as you used to retire recently, but probably forever.
Okay. Regardless of the situation with Tyson Fury, will Oleksandr Usyk still fight in Saudi Arabia in December?
You mean if Tyson Fury withdraws from the fight?
Yeah, if that fight doesn't materialize because now he's signed with Skills Challenge, will he still fight in Saudi in December?
Omar, it's complicated to answer this question for many reasons. One of the reasons is that Usyk has 1 fight to go before. And this is, many people just disregard Daniel Dubois as he's an underdog and this is not serious, he has no chance. But I don't treat him like this. We all see that Daniel Dubois is a young, very motivated, very strong athlete who has a very decent punch. He has big heart, what he showed in the last fight. After being on the floor 3 or 4 times, he found that in his heart to get up, to change completely the picture of the fight, and to accomplish the victory. It means that this guy is not just a bum. No, he's not a bum at all. He's a real warrior, and he knows how to get victories in the ring.
Definitely, most people watching this will be British boxing fans, so we know in this country how much of a threat Daniel Dubois is, for sure. One
That's
last
true.
point before we come on to that fight with Daniel Dubois. You would have seen plenty of comments from Frank Warren and the media, I'm sure. He made it to myself, to Talk Sport, to other channels. And his point was, look, Oleksandr Usyk didn't want the fight in the UK. He was waiting for this deal from Saudi Arabia to fight Fury in December. And he said that's fine. He can't blame him for that, for a fighter wanting a big payday. But his point was to stop blaming Tyson Fury about why the fight didn't happen in spring in the UK. So what are your thoughts on that?
We shouldn't blame anyone. If someone is afraid of doing a fight, we shouldn't blame him for that. Usyk accepted the challenge. He went public and he said 70-30 is an ugly deal, but I do accept it because I want this fight to happen. But please, Tyson, pay £1 million to Ukraine and you have a fight. And this never happened. Tyson never accepted this. This is just one of the reasons. The other reason, which was manipulated, is the rematch, where Tyson people approached us with the rematch, where Usyk knew the rematch is on, and he accepted 70-30 with the rematch, having in his mind. But then suddenly it appeared that no rematch, and blah, 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 and things around, and many, many other small things were, how to say, we were trying to make it happen. And we agreed on many, many things. Agreed means that we had to sacrifice our interest in order to agree. And we did so, but at the end of the day, it came to the point where there was no more space to move for us. We want this fight to happen, but not that much to lose our dignity. That's why Usyk and Usyk team withdraw from the negotiations.
Okay. Let's talk about August 26th. It was meant to be
Yes.
August 12th. Just talk to me about why you've pushed the date back by a couple of Saturdays.
August 24th is the Independence Day of Ukraine. Usyk did not fight as a home fighter since 2015, which is 8 years already. And within this time, he became the undisputed cruiserweight champion. He became the unified heavyweight champion. And it's high time for him, finally, to be the home fighter at least once. Unfortunately, we cannot do this in Ukraine for, you know the reason.
Of course.
And everyone knows the reason. But Poland is our neighbor country, our brother country or sister country, or both at the same time. Poland helped us a lot. Just common, normal Ukrainian people who had to leave Ukraine after the war started. And there are more than 2 million Ukrainians living in Poland now. And in the region where the fight is going to take place, we have more than 200,000 Ukrainians. And this will be a real celebration for them. And Independence Day of Ukraine, which is an important holiday for all of us. The day of something we are fighting for. So we want to devote this fight to Ukraine, to our native land. That's why we want to create a special festival of brotherhood between our nations, and to make it in Wrocław, on a big stadium, very good looking stadium, the city of Wrocław, and to bring this celebration to the people of Ukraine, to people of Poland, to people around that location, to come together and celebrate and have this final point of the biggest fight in heavyweight until now.
Alex, you just mentioned there that you're looking at a stadium for August 26th. Do you know the
Yes.
capacity for that stadium? What's it going to be on the night?
43,000.
Wow. Okay, it should be some big event there on that weekend there. It'll be a mega event.
Definitely, yes. Definitely, yes.
And for people who might not be familiar with, sorry, I don't want to get the pronunciation of the city wrong. Can you say?
Wroclaw. Wroclaw.
Right, okay. But for anyone thinking of, traveling in, especially some British fans who want to go and see the fight, what can you tell us about the city, and would you encourage people to come over?
To start with, this stadium was built in was finished in 2012, I suggest. And the first event to take place on this stadium was a boxing fight between Vitaly Klitschko and Tomasz Adamek.
Oh.
City of Wroclaw is very familiar with heavyweight boxing because Andrzej Golota used to have 2 fights there. So it's not a new destination for boxing. And the stadium is really great. It's located in a very comfortable place where you can get by car near a big highway, where you get by public traffic. You have plenty of good hotels. It's located near the river. It's very beautiful city itself. And the surroundings are really great. And it's located very close to the German border, to Czech Republic. They have the airport. So all the conveniences for the fans to visit such a great event at the end of summer.
Sounds great. I look forward to being there. Obviously, there will be a huge interest within the UK about that fight. You hold the rights for the TV rights across the world, and that includes obviously the UK. I'm guessing, Alex, you're speaking to all parties concerned: BT Sports, Sky Sports, DAZN, etc.
That's true. We do so, and I think within 10, 14 days, we have to take the final decision. Who's going to be the official broadcast of this event in the UK?
Look forward to that announcement as well. Just a point I want to raise about the purse bids, Alex, please. Obviously, this purse bid was won at $8 million between Usyk and Dubois. Frank Warren again has made some comments about this, saying Usyk's the A side in this fight. There's 3 belts on the line, and the valuation of the purse bid, the winning purse bid, was $8 million. They obviously bid $5.5 million. And he said, well, you look at that and go to Fury's last purse bid, which was against Dillian Whyte, and that was won at $41 million US. That shows you the contrast in the star power of both A sides.
Do we know the result of the purse bid between Usyk and Fury? That would probably show that would probably show the real value.
Fury Usyk purse, I'm going to guess that would go for about $50 million US.
I think
more,
way bigger amount. Of course, definitely. Let me tell you something. I don't want to comment anything negative on a person who I respect a lot. Frank Warren is a well-experienced man in the field, and he wants to defend his fighter from the insults from the fans that he's getting recently, and he wants to show how valuable his fighter is. And no one has to argue that Tyson Fury is a massive star. It's 100%. He's a massive star in the UK and well-known around the world. But the fact is, if we are here to compare something, let us compare what they have and something in common. Let's say they both fought Derek Chisora. Recent fight of Tyson Fury with Derek Chisora performed some numbers on pay-per-view. Usyk fought Derek Chisora and also performed some numbers on pay-per-view. And these numbers are the same, more or less. Let's say approximately same figures. It shows that Derek Chisora is a very famous fighter. He generates numbers. Or boxing fans value the fight and not the fighter. If Tyson Fury is the big number generator, then his shadow boxing performance would probably also get some pay-per-views. But this is a joke, of course. It's not about the fighter himself. It's about the fight. And the fight consists of the red corner and the blue corner. It means that we have to have two fighters in the ring. Let's say everyone was expecting to see Lennox Lewis fighting Mike Tyson. That was one of the most anticipated fights in the history. Well, not saying the history, in history that I remember. Everyone wanted to see this fight. How can you compare his fight, let's say Lennox Lewis fighting, I don't know, someone who you never heard before? It's a different fight, and the numbers are different. When we talk about the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, where 4 belts are at stake, this is something different. And you cannot compare it with anything. There are no analogs of this. And this means that this is a unique fight, a unique occasion. And all the principles that have been working in the past are not applicable anymore.
Alex, I think what they might, to counter that, what they might say to that is, of course, Usyk Dubois was won at $8 million US. If Fury and Dubois went to purse bids, Frank Warren believes that would go for about $30 million US.
Omar, if a grandmother has a beard, she would be a grandfather.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
If there are no ifs, there is a fact. And the fact is that Tyson Fury is desperately chasing for an opponent to fight, and nobody wants to fight him. That's a fact. And there is some reason behind it. And what is the reason? The guy has to look in the mirror and find the root of this reason. You have to respect your opponent, because your opponent is the one to bring value to yourself. And if you neglect, if you are arrogant, and if you treat your opponent without respect, it means that your value is getting lower, and your fans are losing respect to you. And if you have no one to fight, you have no chance to prove how good you are. And this is not a fighter who determines his greatness. This is a boxing fan who does this. And if a boxing fan loves a fighter who proves his real value in the ring, fighting the best guys and winning the best guys, then he gets all kind of respect. If he talks, then he gets likes in his Instagram, but not more than that.
Well, listen, at the start of this interview, you said that a formal offer will be going to Fury's team, which is great to hear from Saudi Arabia. But August 26th for your man is the first line of business. Do you think we'll get an official announcement, Alex, very soon on this?
Yes, some small issues have to be completed, and we will go officially. Definitely. It will be proceeded according to all the traditions of boxing.
Perfect. Well, it should be a great week at the end of summer, August 26th, at a stadium, which was actually news to me. I didn't know it was going to be at a stadium in Poland. We look forward to that. I'll see you there, Alex, if I don't see you before. And yeah, we'll speak soon. Thank you so much for your time, as always.
Thank you. Thank you, Mar. It was my pleasure, as always.
because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 17, 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers' guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,